The lottery paradox. Picture this. You've just bought a ticket for a grand lottery, and the odds of winning are exceptionally slim. Let's say the chance is merely 1 in 10 million. Despite these staggering odds, you're filled with excitement and hope. When you hold the ticket, you experience a sense of confidence that maybe, just maybe, you're the one who will win. This personal belief seems almost rational, even though the odds are overwhelmingly against you. Now, let's broaden the scope. In a colossal lottery where each ticket holds an almost infinitesimal chance of winning, every single participant can still hold on to the optimism that they might be the lucky one. This phenomenon is called the lottery paradox. The essence of this paradox lies in the stark contrast between the high probability of losing and the individual's personal conviction that they could win. The paradox deepens when we think about the collective result. Although every participant believes they could win, the reality is that only one or, at best, a handful of tickets will secure the prize. This creates a curious logical conflict. How can so many individuals believe they will win when the odds are stacked so heavily against them? To illustrate the paradox more clearly, let's imagine a lottery with 10 million tickets, each with a 1 in 10 million chance of winning. If every ticket holder believes that they will be the fortunate winner, their belief seems irrational in the face of such overwhelming odds. Yet, on a personal level, this belief is somewhat understandable. Individuals rarely consider the odds of everyone losing. Instead, they focus solely on their own ticket and its potential. This paradox highlights the intriguing conflict between personal belief and collective statistical reality. It shows how people can simultaneously hold contradictory views, believing in their personal chance of winning while recognizing that most ticket holders will inevitably face disappointment. Let's dive deeper into the lottery paradox by exploring the complex relationship between personal belief and statistical truth. Each participant's confidence in winning is deeply tied to their emotional investment in the outcome. Even though they understand the probability of winning is almost non-existent, their hope remains strong and intensely personal. This personal belief sharply contrasts with the mathematical odds. From a purely mathematical standpoint, with 10 million tickets in circulation and only one winner, the chances of winning with any given ticket are minuscule. Yet, remarkably, this fact has little effect on the hopeful outlook of each ticket holder. One insightful way to grasp this paradox is to distinguish between subjective and objective probabilities. Subjective probability refers to the personal belief or confidence an individual has about the outcome, while objective probability represents the actual likelihood of the event happening. In the case of the lottery, the subjective probability for each participant is influenced by their hope and emotional attachment to the result. This subjective view can lead them to believe that their ticket has a better chance of winning than the numbers suggest. In contrast, objective probability reflects the true, exceedingly low chance of success. The gap between subjective belief and objective probability is the core of the paradox. Individuals hold on to their belief in success, despite knowing the odds, creating a seeming contradiction. The paradox goes beyond the low likelihood of winning. It touches on the very nature of rational belief. When faced with such staggering odds, the paradox also intersects with fascinating cognitive biases and psychological factors that shape human decision-making. For example, people often overestimate their chances of success in low-probability situations, a tendency known as optimism bias. This cognitive bias helps explain why individuals can hold on to a rational belief that they might win, even when the odds are overwhelmingly against them. The lottery paradox opens a Pandora's box of fascinating questions about human psychology, decision-making processes, and belief systems. It challenges our understanding of how people perceive probabilities and make decisions based on those perceptions. One significant takeaway from the paradox is that it highlights the limitations of purely rational decision-making models. Traditional rational models assume that people make decisions based solely on objective probabilities. However, the lottery paradox vividly shows how personal beliefs and psychological influences can sway decision-making, often leading to behavior that seems irrational when viewed through the lens of statistical reality. This paradox also has broader implications for how we understand risk and uncertainty in different aspects of life. Outside of lotteries, people frequently face situations where the probability of a favorable outcome is extremely low, yet they continue to believe in a positive result. This phenomenon affects behavior in a wide range of contexts, from gambling to investments to health-related choices. Another intriguing dimension of the paradox is its relevance to current discussions in probability theory and decision theory. It underscores the complexity of aligning subjective beliefs with objective probabilities and challenges traditional models that assume purely rational decision-making. Ultimately, the lottery paradox serves as a powerful reminder of the profound influence of hope and personal belief in shaping human behavior. Despite the stark statistical odds, beliefs and emotions play a crucial role in how decisions are made. By exploring this paradox, we gain a deeper understanding of the intricate and often surprising relationship between probability, belief, and human behavior. In conclusion, the lottery paradox offers a captivating exploration of the tension between personal belief and statistical reality. It challenges our traditional views on probability, decision-making, and psychology, providing valuable insights into how we perceive and respond to uncertainty in life. The paradox of self-replicating machines. The concept of self-replicating machines is a fascinating exploration of automation and the very essence of replication. At its core, a self-replicating machine is designed to create exact copies of itself without any external input. This means the machine would use materials and energy from its environment to build a duplicate, including all the necessary components and functionality to operate just as the original machine does. To better understand this idea, imagine a machine with advanced capabilities. Initially, this machine would need to collect raw materials from its surroundings, materials like metals, plastics, or other substances essential for creating its parts. After gathering the resources, the machine would process them. This processing step involves converting the raw materials into precise components using tasks like cutting, shaping, and assembling. Once the machine has manufactured all the necessary components, it would assemble them into a fully functional copy of itself. This step requires intricate coordination and precision to ensure that the new machine operates as efficiently as the original. Finally, the machine would begin the replication process again, leading to a chain reaction of machines producing more machines. The theoretical foundation of self-replicating machines traces back to the mathematician John von Neumann, who introduced the concept in the 1940s. Von Neumann proposed the idea of a universal constructor, a theoretical machine capable of creating copies of itself from raw materials. This universal constructor was envisioned not only as a self-replicating machine, but also as a device that could construct a variety of other machines and structures. Von Neumann's work laid the groundwork for further exploration of self-replication in scientific and technological fields. In practical terms, the idea of self-replicating machines has sparked considerable interest, especially in fields like nanotechnology and space exploration. For instance, in space missions, self-replicating machines could be employed to construct spacecraft or habitats using materials found in space. This approach could reduce the need for resupply missions from Earth and enable the creation of infrastructure in extraterrestrial environments. In the field of nanotechnology, self-replicating nanobots, if realized, could assemble complex structures at the molecular level, leading to breakthroughs in materials science and manufacturing. These minuscule machines could revolutionize industries by enabling the precise construction of materials and devices on an unprecedented scale. However, the concept of self-replicating machines is fraught with challenges and paradoxes. One of the primary concerns is the demand for substantial resources. A machine that replicates itself must gather and process large amounts of raw materials. This raises important questions about the availability and sustainability of these resources, particularly in environments where they are scarce or in situations where the machine operates autonomously. The practical challenges of self-replication are complex and varied. One of the major issues is managing the resources required for replication. A self-replicating machine must efficiently gather raw materials from its environment. This involves not only obtaining the materials, but also processing them into usable components. The efficiency of this process is crucial to the machine's ability to replicate itself successfully. Another major concern is the potential for uncontrolled replication. If a self-replicating machine malfunctions, or if its replication process becomes unregulated, it could lead to a rapid and uncontrolled proliferation of machines. This scenario, often referred to as the gray goo problem, involves machines consuming all available resources, potentially causing ecological or environmental harm. This situation underscores the need for careful control mechanisms to prevent unintended consequences. The complexity of the replication process also presents significant technical challenges. Ensuring that every component of the machine is replicated accurately and that the new machine functions correctly is no small feat. Any errors or defects in the replication process could compromise the integrity of the entire system, leading to malfunctions or failures. This highlights the critical need for precision and reliability in the design and operation of self-replicating machines. The implications of self-replicating machines go beyond the technical hurdles. They also raise philosophical and ethical questions about the nature of replication and automation. If machines are capable of perfectly replicating themselves, what does that mean for human involvement in manufacturing and production? The ability to create machines that can reproduce autonomously could completely alter our understanding of labor, creativity, and innovation. Furthermore, the concept of self-replication prompts reflection on the boundaries of automation and the importance of human oversight. As machines become increasingly autonomous, including the ability to replicate themselves, the balance between human control and machine independence becomes even more significant. The potential for machines to act autonomously raises critical questions about accountability and responsibility within the context of advanced technologies. The paradox of self-replicating machines also shapes our understanding of technological progress and its consequences. While the ability to create self-replicating machines offers exciting possibilities, it also demands careful consideration of potential risks and ethical dilemmas. The challenge lies in maximizing the benefits of self-replication while mitigating the associated risks and ensuring that technological advances align with societal values and objectives. The paradox of self-replicating machines invites deep reflection on the broader implications of technological progress. As we explore the potential and challenges of these machines, several key themes arise. One major theme is the relationship between technology and resource management. The idea of self-replicating machines emphasizes the importance of efficient resource use and sustainability in real-world applications. Ensuring that machines can replicate themselves without depleting resources or causing environmental damage is essential. This requires not only technological innovation, but also careful planning and management to balance the benefits of replication with the responsible stewardship of resources. Another theme involves the impact of self-replication on societal structures and labor. The ability of machines to autonomously replicate themselves could radically transform industries and economies, potentially reducing the need for human labor in certain sectors. This raises significant questions about the future of work, economic inequality, and the role of human creativity and innovation in a world increasingly dominated by automation. As machines take on more complex tasks, it is vital to consider how these changes will affect individuals and communities. The philosophical implications of self-replicating machines also provoke thought about the nature of perfection and autonomy. The pursuit of perfect replication challenges our understanding of flawless performance and raises questions about the limits of human and machine capabilities. It also encourages us to consider the ethical dimensions of creating machines with the power to replicate themselves and the responsibilities that come with such technological advancements. Looking ahead, the development of self-replicating machines holds the potential for significant breakthroughs in fields like manufacturing, space exploration, and materials science. However, realizing this potential requires addressing the technical, ethical, and philosophical challenges associated with self-replication. As technology continues to evolve, it is crucial to approach these developments with thoughtful consideration, ensuring that innovations are aligned with broader societal goals and values. In conclusion, the paradox of self-replicating machines presents a fascinating exploration of technology, replication, and automation. It challenges our understanding of resource management, labor, and the limits of perfection. By examining the potential and challenges of self-replicating machines, we gain valuable insights into the future of technology and its impact on society. The dilemma of authority. The dilemma of authority is a profound philosophical issue that delves into the essence of power, decision-making, and the boundaries of rationality. Central to this paradox is the challenge of understanding how decisions are made, particularly when a figure of authority, like a ruler, is involved. Imagine a scenario where a leader is confronted with a decision that will affect their realm. The paradox emerges from the complexities surrounding this decision-making process and the weight of the leader's authority. It questions whether a ruler can truly make decisions that are autonomous and grounded in reason. One common example of this paradox is when a ruler must choose between two conflicting options. The decision involves considering various factors, such as the well-being of their people, economic consequences, and personal inclinations. The paradox stems from the difficulty of making a choice that is both logical and consistent with the ruler's duties. For example, consider a situation where the ruler must decide between two policies. One benefits the majority of citizens but requires significant sacrifices from a minority, while the other helps the minority but imposes burdens on the majority. The ruler must balance these conflicting interests while fulfilling their duty to act in the best interest of the entire community. A central element of the paradox is the notion of rationality. Rationality refers to making choices based on logical reasoning and facts. However, the decision-making process of a ruler is often swayed by personal biases, political pressures, and the necessity to maintain authority. This raises the question: can a ruler truly make an unbiased, logical decision when such influences come into play? Another key factor is authority. The power a ruler holds is derived from their position and the authority granted to them by their role. This authority allows them to make decisions on behalf of their subjects. However, the paradox challenges whether this power alone is enough to make decisions that are both rational and just. If the ruler's authority is based on assumptions or constraints, it might hinder their ability to make impartial decisions. The paradox also sheds light on the difficulties faced in decision-making in complex situations. In the real world, rulers and leaders are often confronted with multifaceted problems that cannot be easily solved through straightforward logic. The need to evaluate multiple factors and predict potential outcomes further complicates the decision-making process, raising doubts about the possibility of achieving true rationality in such scenarios. Moreover, this paradox encourages us to reflect on the nature and limits of authority itself. It asks whether authority alone is sufficient for making sound decisions or whether other factors such as expertise, ethical considerations, and the involvement of others play a crucial role. The paradox highlights the importance of understanding how authority, rationality, and decision-making intersect in various settings. The dilemma of authority goes beyond theoretical exploration and has practical significance in real-world governance. By examining this paradox, we can gain valuable insights into the challenges faced by leaders and the broader implications of leadership and governance. One practical consequence is the impact of authority on decision-making. Rulers and leaders frequently make choices influenced by the power granted by their positions. However, this paradox questions whether authority is enough to guarantee rational and just decisions. The presence of authority does not ensure decisions are free from bias or contradictions. Additionally, the paradox emphasizes the importance of transparency and accountability in leadership. Leaders are often held accountable for their actions, and the ability to justify their decisions is essential. The paradox advocates for decision-making processes that are open and subject to scrutiny, ensuring that choices are made based on logical reasoning and evidence, not merely on the power of the ruler. Another aspect of the paradox involves the role of expertise and consultation in decision-making. Leaders often rely on advisors, experts, and input from various stakeholders. The paradox suggests that involving diverse perspectives and expertise can improve the rationality and effectiveness of decisions, helping reduce bias and lead to better outcomes. The paradox also has implications for the design of decision-making systems. In complex scenarios, it may be advantageous to implement systems that support rational decision-making and minimize personal biases. For instance, frameworks that prioritize evidence-based decision-making, engagement with stakeholders, and accountability can address some of the challenges highlighted by this paradox. Moreover, the paradox raises important questions about the limits of authority and the potential for power imbalances when authority is concentrated in the hands of a few. In such cases, decisions may be influenced by personal interests or biases. The paradox encourages us to explore ways to distribute authority more equitably and ensure that decision-making processes are fair and representative. The implications of this paradox extend beyond political leadership and into business, organizational management, and other forms of governance. Understanding the difficulties that arise from authority and decision-making can guide the development of more effective leadership strategies. By recognizing the limitations of authority and emphasizing rationality, transparency, and accountability, leaders can navigate complex decisions more successfully and promote positive outcomes. Furthermore, this paradox provides us with valuable insights into leadership, decision-making, and governance. It invites us to reflect on the broader implications of authority and decision-making, particularly in relation to the ethical responsibilities of leaders. Leaders must be aware of their responsibility to make decisions that align with ethical standards and the welfare of their people. The paradox emphasizes the need for leaders to integrate ethical principles into the decision-making process to ensure that authority is exercised in a fair and just manner. As decision-making becomes increasingly complex, the paradox underscores the importance of developing frameworks that allow leaders to handle uncertainty and make well-informed, rational decisions. In a world that is interconnected and marked by complexity, these frameworks are essential for helping leaders tackle diverse challenges and navigate uncertainty. Finally, the paradox of authority invites us to consider the role of technology and innovation in decision-making. Advances such as artificial intelligence and data analytics hold the potential to improve decision-making by offering valuable insights. However, the paradox reminds us that technology alone cannot solve all the issues associated with decision-making. It is crucial to consider the broader context, including the ethical and social dimensions, when utilizing technology for decision support. In the future, the paradox of authority will remain an essential consideration in discussions about leadership, governance, and decision-making. As societies face new challenges, understanding the dynamics of authority and rationality will continue to be vital. By addressing the insights and implications of this paradox, we can work towards creating decision-making systems that are more effective, equitable, and aligned with ethical principles. In conclusion, The dilemma of authority offers an important lens through which to examine the complexities of power and decision-making. It challenges us to consider the limitations of authority, the role of rationality, and the importance of transparency and accountability. By reflecting on this paradox and its implications, we gain valuable insights into leadership and the pursuit of effective, ethical decision-making.